right, welcome back, guys. Today we're in Hollister with Ralph Gonzales and his 51 Ford. First off, what's the name of the truck?
When I painted it, it's always been orange, so when we painted it again orange, everybody started calling it the pumpkin. And in Spanish, pumpkin is Calabaza. So everybody started saying the Calabaza, they call it the pumpkin, so I had it put on the back there. Kind of a joke at first, and then it just kind of stuck. It does look like a pumpkin, I guess.
How long have you owned this truck?
My uncle bought this truck from a company in Morgan Hill, California, which was a grass farm. And my uncle bought it from them. It was a truck that they started the company with. And then he had it for, I think, maybe about a year or two. And then my dad bought it from him in I want to say right around 71, 72. When my dad got it, he tore it all apart and he painted it that orange, which was like that. It was called puppy red, but it was like a orange, more of an orange, not red.
Yeah.
And then he put like Anson mags on it and kind of did that 70s style. But he didn't do anything to the frame. The only thing he did was in Gilroy, where I grew up, there was a back road called Hosklaw Road, and there was a 65 Impala that somebody had wrecked. Yeah. And my dad seen it there, and it stayed there for a long time, and then finally they pulled it out, and he ended up getting all the drivetrain out of it.
Oh, wow.
So in the beginning, it had a 283 with a power glide transmission and the rear end out of a 65 Impala. So it was all matching, so it ran really good, you know. And the Impala wasn't that old, you know. It was barely, you know, maybe 7 years old or something when they found it. So he did that, and then it stayed like that for a long time with the other paint job and the Anson mags. They did the interior was all black with diamond tuck upholstery. And then when I was 18, he gave it to me for my 18th birthday. I drove it a little bit, didn't drive it much. I took it to high school a couple times, and one time it almost got hit by another guy, so I parked it again, and it sat in the garage for probably a good 10, 11 years until I decided to bring it back out and do a bunch of stuff to it, do the frame and different transmission in it, and did the 4-link and all that. So the reason we ended up painting and stuff, because I was going to leave it with that old lacquer paint job that my dad did in the 70s on it.
Yeah.
But I was at Walmart when they were getting ready to go to Paso for the big car show.
Yeah.
And this lady pulled out of a parking space and hit me.
Oh, dang.
So she hit the front end and buckled it a little bit. So we ended up popping the front end back out and kind of straighten it out and do little primer spots on it. I took it, I think, 1 year to Paso like that. And then when we got home, I tore it all apart to paint it. So I wanted to keep orange because that's the color my dad had did it. You know, and my dad gave me this truck, so I wanted to kind of attribute to him. That's what he painted and gave it to me as orange.
Yeah.
So I just did it orange. I saw this color and I liked it, so we went with it. We tried a bunch of test panels and stuff. We did it with clear, without clear. I just like this look, the satin look.
Yeah.
And so we did it like this. So it's got air ride technologies. It's an old setup. Like I said, it's like 25 years old. It's got big red solenoids. It's got 3/8-inch lines. The back bags are the cone style Firestones, and then the front has Slam Specialties bags with the internal stoppers. I used to put bicycles back here. If I take this off underneath, it's still got like the original wood that my dad put in it.
Oh, wow.
Way back in the day. I just left it. I just cut it and just left the old wood that was there and just put some rubber mats on it. At one time I was like going to redo the whole bed, but I use this truck a lot. Like people that know me, they know that I throw stuff in the back. You know, I've taken it to swap meets and put parts in the back, and I enjoy it. You know,
You use it as a truck.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's
Right?
a truck. Yeah. And for a long time, I didn't have another truck to use, so I would just throw stuff in here and let's go, you know, if we're going to a swap meet or if we're going anywhere. You know, now when I go to shows, I throw all my stuff in the bag. That's why it's all scratched up. But I throw my suitcases in there. I throw my ice chest. I've thrown barbecue pits back there, whatever.
Yeah. I noticed the plate is a 51 plate too, commercial.
Yeah, it's a commercial plate.
Was it hard to get this plate?
They're kind of pricey, but I used to know this guy, and he told me one time, he goes, hey, I got a couple of license plates I found at an antique store. And 2 of them were 51 commercial plates, and turned out that one of them was clear. So I was able to register it to the truck.
That's sick. It's always cool when you have a matching number. Or matching plate,
yeah, the
for the
matching
year.
plate. And those plates right there are 1 year only.
Oh,
They
really?
only made them in 51. Yeah.
Wow.
That configuration, like the commercial in 1951. So they're pretty scarce and they're pretty pricey if you find a clean set.
How about the rear bumper? Is that stock? Or
Yeah, it's a stock bumper.
has it been chopped at all or no?
No,
Wow.
that's stock. Everything on the outside of the body is stock. When I built the truck, I have a lot of friends that build stuff, and I could have easily had it chopped and shaved the door handles and do all the custom stuff people do.
Yeah.
But I wanted that look like I just bought it, and then I put wheels on it and lowered it. I wanted
Like
that
OEM
stock,
plus, right?
yeah, like a stock look, just a clean. I've always liked that look where a car's all stock and it's just lowered or just has a nice set of wheels on it. So I went that route. A lot of people, kind of were like, hey, you should have chopped it or you should do this. But now everything out there is chopped.
Yeah.
So when you see something that's not chopped, it catches your eye, You have to do more stuff to it too. Like if I would have chopped it, then I would have shaved the door handles. I would have maybe did some other custom work here and there, different tail lights or different, you got to keep that whole custom theme going if you're going to do that. If you're going to cut into a car, you don't just chop it and leave everything else. You do as much as you can if you're going to build a custom, So those wheels are what they call a true reversed wheel. The rim is a tri-fi wheel, a Chevy tri-fi, like off of a 55, 56, 57 Bel Air. And what they do is they cut the center out and they flip the hoop around and weld the center back in. So that way you get that smooth lip on the rim. And it's a trick that the old timers did back in the day. A lot of hot rodder guys did them. And when people say a reversed wheel, usually they just think it's a deep wheel, deep dish wheel, but that's what they call a true reverse wheel, because the wheel is reversed. It's actually flipped around. And not too many people catch it, but people that know, I've had some old timer tell me, where'd you get those wheels? I said, I had them made. And he was kind of tripping out. He's like, how did you know about that trick? I said, well, I talked to old timers like you that did them back in the day. So it's a little detail that not too many people catch, but if you know it, you know.
If you know, then you know, right?
Yeah, and then some people have looked at the wheels and they're like, what kind of wheels are those? Because they have a different look to them. The interior, I just wanted it simple, just a little tuck and roll. A guy, Jose, out of San Jose, did the interior for me. Kind of gave him his freedom to do what he thought was a cool 50s kind of style setup. Steering wheel is, from what I know, it's off of a 48 Mercury, and then I put the Ford ring on it. So a Ford steering wheel, like a 48 Ford steering wheel, is pretty much the same, but it doesn't have these chromes right here. So this one has these chromes, and then the actual horn ring, this is a 48 Ford horn ring. The Mercury one has like 3 bars right here, and I had it, but it was cracked, and I couldn't find somebody because it's like pop aluminum.
Yeah.
I couldn't find somebody to fix it, and it was kind of pitted. So I just used the one off of a Ford. All the gauges are original. I sent them in and had them all recalibrated and changed to 12 volt. And if you notice the radio, so when my dad had this truck, he didn't have the radio for it, but he had that old Chevy radio sitting around, so he threw it in there. It has if you see it has a bow tie in the middle. A lot of people see it and they're like, hey, why has it got a bow tie right there? Because it's out of like a mid-50s Chevy car. The story behind those knobs is we used to go to Paso to the big show, and there was a guy there who used to sell those knobs. And those knobs, these are like one of the last set made by the original guy who used to make them back in the 60s and stuff. So I bought a whole set of them. I think I still have a couple more at home because I bought all the ones he had in orange.
Does he still make them?
No, he actually passed away.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, so he passed away right before I bought them.
What's this thing over here?
Oh, so that's an old Tropic Air heater. And I restored it all. I did all the internals and everything, and I mounted it up there and never hooked it up. I guess you could say that's a 20-year project. I'm still gonna hook it up someday.
The interior is nice.
Yeah, the guy did a good job, Jose. He still does interior.
Is he in San Jose?
He's in San Jose, South San Jose.
Oh, wow.
He used to have a shop, and then he had a fire at his shop, so he ended up closing it, and then he does it out of his garage now.
What's your favorite memory for this truck?
Being able to enjoy this truck with my daughter since she was very young. She was probably, when I built it, she was probably around 4 or 5 years old. And she's about to turn 30 in a couple of weeks. Yeah, she went with me a lot, to a lot of car shows, she grew up around cars. All my friends that I've known for 30, 40 years, they all know her. She grew up around all these people, so that's a good memory to have, and she probably has that memory too of always being in this truck with me. So the day I'm gone, she'll inherit the truck, and the memories, they'll all be there with her. Yeah. The grill is a little different. It's supposed to only have 3 teeth. I added 2 teeth to it. So it just has the center one and the 2 outer ones, and then I added the other 2 in the middle there. The funny thing is, when I did it, I bought another grill to get the other teeth, and those teeth are angled. It doesn't look like it, but that bar going across is kind of curved. So if you just try to set a tooth in there, they'll be pointing like the wrong direction. They won't be going straight. So I had to grind them down and modify them to get them to sit straight. So it was not a big task, but it was just a little bit more than just putting them on, There's been times where I won't drive it for like a year or 2. And then I bring it out, and then somebody will be like, oh, there's that truck. Like, oh shit, I've always liked that truck. Or, it's just a nice truck, simple truck. And that's what I was going for, just a simple truck. And when I built it, I didn't really have a lot of money. So it wasn't like I could freaking chop it all up and do all kinds of stuff to it. That takes a lot of money. 39 Ford taillights in it. Yeah, the lenses are smoked, but yeah, they're pretty bright.
Is it a regular bulb or is it LED?
Those are regular bulbs, because when I built this truck, there was no LED stuff.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. They make them now with the LED, and I was going to change them, but I kind of don't like the way it looks when you hit the brakes and the LEDs turn on. Yeah. It looks too modern for me. Yeah. I'd rather have kind of a dim tail light,
Are those original mirrors too on the side?
Yeah, that's an original mirror. Yeah, it's an aftermarket. I bought it from a place called All Fords in San Jose.
Oh, they have one in San Jose? All Fords?
They used to, but
Oh.
it's not there no more.
I know there's a Ford shop in Sac.
Yeah, I think it's the same people, I think. But San Jose used to have a place called All Fords, and I bought that there. So I left the gas tank behind the seat, the stock where it was, because a lot of people put them like under the bed, or so it's still there. Yeah, and then I had all the airbag stuff. I mounted it in the frame, so I didn't really have too much room for a gas tank under there. Because most people will put it in the back, in between the frame rails, and then the filler will be in the bed. Since I didn't really have room, I just left the tank, and it's a little tight inside. I could have went back with the seat if I took the tank out, but it doesn't bother me. It's fine. It's real simple, pretty dirty. I always said I was gonna do the engine compartment and stuff, and this is actually the second engine I put in it. The first engine, the 283, it gave out after all the. Right? This is a 350, yeah. Then that pinstriping was done by a guy in Japan. He used to come down a long time ago. His name was Malo. He did it in 04.
All right, here's Ralph's panhead. What year is it?
1959.
59. Yeah, I saw this one at Chopper Fest a few years ago, and it was on the video. And then Ralph rode up to the Kicker Friday, and that's how I met him.
So this bike, I bought it pretty much the way it is. Friend of mine had it, and I had another 59 that was kind of all chopped up, and it didn't have an original frame. And I tore it all apart and started building it, and got pretty deep into making it like a full show bike, but never finished it. And then my friend decided he was going to sell this one, and I thought a more original bike would be worth more in the long run. So we worked out a deal, and actually traded him the bike I was building with all the parts and everything for this bike. And it was kind of stripped down when I got it. It had the bags and it was pretty much all there, but I added the spotlights, added this little visor my buddy gave me, and just a little accessory, you know.
Yeah.
I added the high beam indicator. So this could be used as like a high beam indicator, or sometimes hook it up to like the spotlights, so you know that the spotlights are on.
Yeah.
You could do either or. Then I added the stabilizer bar. This is an original accessory from Harley. Just little things I like. Like, of course, the gas caps, it's not like an original thing, but it's an old school thing that, you know, people used to run. So I put those on there. They look, I like the way they look.
This is the narrow tank too, huh?
Yeah, these are the smaller tanks.
Yeah, it's clean.
So those are original tanks. And just little things that I like. I kind of like the accessories on it. Some people don't like a lot of accessories, but I like to buy the accessories, and if I ever want to take them off, at least I have them. You know, I could put them away and have them. And there's like certain things on this bike, like this bike originally came with a neutral indicator, and this is an original dash. Somebody made this. They put that on there. But I found an original dash with the original speedo and all that. I just haven't put it on yet. Yeah. I have it put away. I also put the seat rail on it. I put the seat rail. I think it makes it look just another accessory, you know. Yeah. And then I did all the tail lights, and I found an original license plate with an original 1959 registration tag on it.
That's cool.
Just little stuff. When I find it, I'll pick it up. This bike has a lot of aftermarket parts on it, but for the most part, it has that look, you know, where how it should have been original. Yeah. And I enjoy it. I mean, it's not a 100% pure original bike, but the bones are original. The frame, the engine, transmission, stuff like that, which is the important stuff.
It's in really good condition too.
Yeah, it's a nice bike. I think somebody at one time probably, you know, rebuilt it and put some aftermarket parts on it and, you know, gave it that look. But anytime I find stuff that's original to 59, I'll try to buy it. So I have some parts put away that, you know, one day I'll probably swap out. And
I like that the rims are black too. Gives
yeah,
like
yeah, it looks pretty cool like that. It's different.
Yeah, it looks
and
more tough.
I didn't think that was like an original thing, but I've actually seen some original bikes with black wheels. But yeah, it's a nice bike. It's a nice riding bike. I get on the freeway and go 70, no problem. It's reliable.
Any future plans?
Future plans for this one? Yeah. Probably I want to do, maybe not repaint the whole bike, but 59 takes like it's supposed to be white right here, kind of like a little teardrop kind of deal that goes around the emblem. It's kind of the paint scheme. I want to probably put that on it, just to make the paint job look more like original style. Yeah. And no, I think this bike's gonna stay the way it is, and just ride it, just enjoy it. Nice. And if I find, like I said, anytime I find original stuff for it, I'll buy it and put it on there, just to have more original stuff on it. Yeah. But yeah, for the most part, it's probably gonna stay pretty similar to that, or unless one day I got a wild idea and strip it down, and you know, because I could take the bags off, I could take all the accessories off, and it'll look like a different bike. You know? But I like the way it looks like that.
Yeah, it looks good. How about the shovel?
So this shovel I just picked up. It's got a freaking flat tire right now. I put a brand new tires on it and stuff, and for some reason it went flat. But I picked this up. It's a 67 Shovelhead. A friend of mine, Ryan Grossman, 3G Nuck. A lot of people know him on Instagram. Does a lot of raffles and stuff. He bought this bike, and he got it in a deal out of Colorado. And it was all stock. It had the bags, it had all the crash bars, it had a 16-inch wheel in the front. Basically, you know, bone stock bike. And I wanted something I could kind of make into just a kind of a bar hopper, rider, I don't know, gangster bike, I guess. Yeah. And I bought it off him. I put the 21 on it. I put the double white wall in the back, and I put those little ape hangers on it. And those ape hangers, when I got them, had an internal throttle, so that was pretty cool. You know, this is all
Well,
internal.
that's cool.
So that's pretty neat. Just kind of polished it up, and I just barely started messing with it, so I'm probably gonna do some more stuff to it. Probably gonna lower the front end a little bit, and maybe change the seat. I kind of like that seat, but I'm gonna try something else. And that one's just gonna be just a around town mess around bike, or you know, just a. I've always liked generator shovels, so that's why I got it too. I've always wanted one, and they're getting pretty pricey, so I figured I might as well grab one while they're still obtainable.
Exactly.
This is pretty neat. That was on that bike. It's kind of an old school thing. So these are the bags that were on that bike, and they got like an old painting of a
Black bear?
bear / wolf or whatever it is, you know.
It's a wolf.
It's kind of funny.
That's cool.
Yeah, I told my wife I'll probably save those like that because
That's
pretty neat. Something different, you know.
Colorado special right there.
Yeah, yeah.
In the woods.
He's probably a mountain man that had this bike, you know.
Yes, it's staring to your soul.
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna take the lids off and maybe hang them on the wall or something.
Yeah, for real.
They look pretty neat. Something, you know, that's probably old school. You never know. It's probably done, you know, in the 70s or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whoever, you never know what these old bikes go through.
Yeah, exactly. How about the Comet?
The Comet we built for my wife. It's a little dusty right now, just sitting here, but it's a nice little car. It's all original. That's the original paint. It's got the original engine. We upgraded the suspension a little bit, upgraded the brakes, made it safe for her to drive. Did all the interior on it.
What year did you say it was?
1961.
61, wow.
61 Comet. The first year we finished it, she drove it to Santa Maria by herself. I took my truck and she took this car.
That's sick.
And it was pretty crazy because it's the first time she had driven it far.
Yeah.
And then she got caught like in a crazy storm.
Oh,
in the rain, going up the hills up there and stuff. So I told her, hey, well, you went through the worst of the worst on your first trip, you know. I still have to do the headliner. I haven't done it because to do the headliner, you have to take the front windshield out and the back window out because it wraps around the frame.
Yeah.
So that's next on the list. That's going to be, actually we just talked about, we're going to do that pretty soon here. In 59, there was Edsel. There was Ford Edsel, right? So then they were going to come out with a 60 Edsel. So they came out with one, but this one was supposed to be an Edsel. It's supposed to be a Ford Edsel. So it never ended up coming out. So they badged it as a Comet. But if you look at this car, nowhere on the car does it say Mercury or Ford. It just says Comet. So for 2 years, 60 and 61, they just came out as a Comet. Like it doesn't say Mercury Comet, it doesn't say Ford Comet, it's just a Comet. Wow. It's kind of weird.
So it's kind of rare, you know?
And then I believe in 62 is when they came out saying Mercury Comet. It's kind of a neat story on these cars. And you don't see these cars too often. The 61 with the little wings in the back and stuff. A lot of people like that look.
Was this your wife's dream car or?
She just liked it because my wife, she's short and this car fits her. You know, it's not, if she got like an Impala or something, it'd be way too big for her.
Is it longer?
You know?
Impala?
Yeah, this is smaller than Impala. Impala's
wow.
longer, yeah. So it like fits her perfect. It's a good car for her, and she likes the body line. She always liked the cat eye tail lights. She actually had a car like this when we met. She had one that was really rough, and she kind of got a bad deal in buying that car. She lost some money on it and stuff. So we ended up getting rid of that car, and then I found this car. I found it online, and the owner was Chico from Moon Eyes. The car, we were gonna paint it, and I thought, my buddy who's a painter, he said, hey, the car's in pretty decent shape. You should just maybe shoot some clear on it. Clean it up real good and shoot some clear on it, and it'll look like a Survivor, you know? Yeah. Well, you know, they say they're only original once, so, you know.
Thank you for showing us your
garage.
Thanks
for coming. Appreciate it.
Thank you.